Hey guys, my name is Michael, and on this channel we talk about life as a professional artist. An unfortunate thing that comes with a little bit of notoriety is you get a lot of attention, but sometimes you get negative attention. And today I want to talk about one of the downsides that comes when you get a lot of attention is, people that are kind of bad actors. And so today I'm going to talk about how to deal with stalkers. Now, I've had a lot of problems with stalkers over at least the last 10 years. It really started as soon as I had my first ever Facebook in 2008 and even a little bit before that. And I recently had a scare, which was like even crazier because I had a nightmare about this person who's been bothering me for a while, just a few days prior, and then all of a sudden they pop up again, and it's, I don't know, some cosmic energy force about how these people kind of pursue and stalk me. For me, the biggest problem with stalkers is their lack of understanding of my non-consent to their attention and the lack of safety I feel as a result. If the other person doesn't respect your boundaries and your life, then you're not in a safe position, because there's nothing to say that they won't make an action physical or even just like emotional. This is something that I have really struggled a lot with, especially because I was someone who was stalked at a very early age and from multiple different people, and it's really affected how I present my presence online. I remember the first week of college when I went to, some people went and just took photos of me because they were just, photo majors taking photos of people, and I was in one of them and I broke down crying because I couldn't handle the fact that someone was photographing me without my consent. And definitely this idea of being represented and being photographed or being stalked has made its way into my art, and is something that I've kind of made a personal mission to tackle head on. And it's one of the reasons I actually started photographing people, was to get over that fear of working with other people and collaborating with them. And it's definitely something that I still think about literally every single time that I make a post. It's like super scary. I know that my stalkers are probably watching this YouTube video, and I don't know how to stop that. And it's gotten even worse now that I've kind of decided to become a figurehead and become more than just an anonymous person. And so I think one of the first things to say is if you are being stalked, you're not alone, and it's a really unfortunate thing, but you should never let fear dictate your actions. For me, I knew that it was the right decision to become, kind of not a celebrity, but to get known as an individual and to put myself out there. A lot of my accounts are in my name. I don't use a pseudonym. On my YouTube channel, I don't use a pseudonym. It's, Michael Washenko. And so, that makes it even easier for people to find me and stalk me and harass me. But it's still the right decision for my career trajectory and my goals. When dealing with stalkers and people with non-consent, your main priority should always be safety. And, safety for yourself, safety for your loved ones. I have a lot of problems in the past where people, they want me, and I've done a good job of blocking them off, but then they go and they harass people and they stalk people and they dox people around me. They'll dox my girlfriend or my grandma or my friends, and they'll show up at their houses, and it's really weird, and it still scars me, and still things that I have nightmares about. But it's always about safety, and so whenever you're building an online presence or just a presence as a figurehead or a notable person, is to be super careful about for example, geotagging or what content you choose to post online. So for example, I'm doing this video with just a plain black wall. You can't see what is behind me, you can't see where I am, you don't know exactly the real situation, there's no identifying markers. And if you do post something that does have an identifying marker, then if it's not a super public place, if I'm not announcing going to a book fair or one of my own exhibitions, where I feel relatively safe because I'm surrounded by people and a network of people who know me and support me, then I post that information after the fact, after I've left. So if I'm doing a photo shoot at a beach, I will wait until after I've left the beach to post those photos on Instagram. Another thing is to be super, super aggressive with how you block people and how you choose to block people. It's not going to stop people who are really determined, but it's still the right thing to do, and it still makes you feel like you're in a little bit of control. Another thing is to really share the fact that you're struggling with something and your worries with the people in your inner circle that you trust, because it's really important that, you know, I've had problems where, for example, like my partner will post a photo of me and geotag it, and then, you know, I have problems with stalkers as a result of that. And so, you know, you have to be super aware that, you know, the people in your network have to be aware of who you are and the situation that you have, and, you know, be alert to this. Another thing that may end up happening a lot is, you know, whenever stalkers kind of call and harass the people around you, then it becomes like an even bigger issue. And I personally find myself apologizing for this person a lot all the time. You know, I had one stalker that would call and harass someone that I knew constantly, trying to get a hold of me, thinking that this person would kind of give them access to me, you know, thinking that they could trick this person into giving them access for me. And, you know, the stalker would get irate or, you know, aggressive with someone that was kind to me and that I was part of my network. And, you know, I have to like then apologize and do something nice for that person just for dealing with my problem, which shouldn't even be my problem at all. And so, you know, if you have someone in your who you know is being stalked, you know, show them some compassion as well, and know that, you know, this is not something that they want, and they're really sorry that this happened, and they wish nothing more than just for it to end. If it's really serious, you need to take it to the police, and you need to kind of protect your safety at all costs. Don't be afraid to get authority figures involved. You know, like back when I was in school and people were stalking my school, I made it known to the administration in my school, both in high school and in college, that I had stalkers, and like they were not allowed to ever have access to me. So even though they come in, you know, don't be fooled. Kind of like a blacklist. You know, I've had that same thing with work. You know, people who feel entitled to have access to you, even though you really don't consent to it, you need to make sure that everyone around you knows that this person is not allowed. And if possible, and if it's serious enough, you need to take legal action. And I know that that's like a nightmare and it's so much work from personal experience, but I think that it's, you know, really valuable. And that way, you know, it doesn't necessarily always stop the people, but it does provide you a reasonable action that you can take. You know, like usually whenever you're being stalked, there's not really anything that you can do, but whenever someone is stalking you and, you know, they have, you know, like you have a report already with the police, then when you call the police to come, it will usually put a stop to the situation relatively earlier and protect your safety, because the police are going to make you a priority. If you're a stalker, I don't know like why you would choose to do that. I'm not going to pretend to really know it, because a lot of times it comes from mental illness, and I hope that people who do that find treatment and find help, because, you know, they're hurting themselves and they're hurting other people. I know that this is not the most art-focused video that I've ever made, but it is a consequence and a side effect of being a professional artist and being someone out there that a lot of people don't talk about. Let me know if you have any problems in the comments below. If it's happening to you, know that you're not alone, and know that there are resources available to you. If it gets serious, take it to the police. You know, take it to authority figures. Check back in tomorrow for a more art-focused post. I hope you have a wonderful day.